All right, hi, and welcome to Adventures in Pod. I'm your host, Ryan McGinnis. I am an author, a web designer, and now the owner of an Etsy store powered by Print on Demand. I created Adventures in Pod to bring you guys along on my journey and adventures as I learn to do print on demand. So this week, I didn't know if I was going to get time to shoot because honestly, I've got relatives in town. So, I'm shooting this on a Saturday and hoping it's going to come out on Monday. So, hopefully I succeed. I guess we'll see. But, when you got family in town, life gets in the way when you're trying to do these episodic, these podcasts and videos and the like. And so, I think that's its own episode. I think one of these days I'll do an episode about life gets in the way, because honestly, life gets in the way no matter what. Like whether you're a web designer, whether you're an author, whether you're trying to do a print on demand store, life gets in the way. And we'll do that on another episode. But what I wanted to talk about this episode, is an episode that I am calling It's a Marathon, Not a Sprint. And you might ask, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is when I was doing my research, I did research for at least 6 months before I started this print on demand journey. And during that time, I watched a ton of guru videos here on YouTube. I'm sure you guys have seen them too. If you're wanting to get into print on demand, because all you got to do is search for it once, and the algorithm gives you 4,000 videos of that same subject. So I can see where it's helpful, but sometimes that's kind of annoying. But during that time, I've seen many a guru talk about, hey, I started my, I went from 0 to 90,000 in like 3 months, or I started an Etsy print on demand and now I'm making, $2,000 a day in just a month and a half. And, that all sounded like baloney to me. I mean, I don't think it's baloney. I just think that you have to already have a big following. And while I am an author and a web designer, I don't have a huge following. I'm not like some big guy that's got like a 15,000, email newsletter list or anything like that, even though that's a handy tool to have. And we'll probably do an episode talking about that too. But that's more in the marketing bin. We're not talking about marketing today. We're talking about it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I see these guys over and over, they started a store and they're just overnight, they're making $15,000 a month or whatever, that would be fantastic. That sounds great, and you know what that does? That gets you watching their videos. That gets you clicking on their things, that gets you liking their videos. But it also gives you it gives you bad self-esteem and a really low opinion of yourself when you start and yours don't meet up to their lofty standards. So I'm here to tell you something that I have learned. I have started many businesses, many enterprises, many side projects. I have 5 books out on Amazon, and I'm here to tell you, here's the thing. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Like when you go out the door, unless you already have a big following, you're not going to put your website up and suddenly be number 1 on Google. You're not going to write your first book and put it out and be number 1 on Amazon. You're not going to start an Etsy store with no following and, the next week you're making $10,000 a week. I'm here to tell you that you're not going to do that, more than likely. Odds are you're not going to. Some people do. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but most people don't. And you know what? That's okay, because it's how you market. It's how you push yourself. It's how you continue to do that job going forward, how you continue to push your Etsy store, how you continue to grow it. You keep putting, if you've got a YouTube channel, you keep putting videos out. Even if you're getting 10 views, you put your YouTube videos out because eventually they'll build up. You start a Pinterest channel, your pins aren't getting massive views right off the start. That's okay. If you keep putting them out, chances are they will. Chances are you'll grow on YouTube. Chances are you'll get the word out about your product, and it's the same thing with an Etsy store. You do good SEO in your post and you continue to post products and post a lot of them, or as many as you get time to do. And you grow. and you'll grow and you'll be patient. And I know patience is something that is in short supply nowadays, but patience is important. I'm here to tell you, this isn't glamorous advice. Some of y'all are watching this and going, well, this isn't very encouraging. And I know, and I know it can not be encouraging. But what I'm saying is be consistent and be, consistent. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say. And that might not be true in a foot race, but it's true in life. I started a web design business, oh God, probably 16, 17 years ago. And a lot of people started at the same time as me. And out of all those people, I think me and maybe one other person are the only ones still going. And we're the ones, we weren't as flashy coming out the gates, but we kept to what we were doing. We were consistent. We kept building our audience. We kept building our client base, and we marketed and we did what we had to do. And most importantly, we consistently did the work. And that's what I'm telling you about. That's what I'm applying to my Etsy store too. We've come out the gate. We've sold a few shirts, nothing amazing. Nothing. I'm not quitting my day jobs yet, but we have sold some shirts and I'm happy about that. And we've gotten some designs out there and I've got a lot of good feedback and people love the shirts. And I think it's super cool, when people visit my Etsy store, 217 Press, and they like the shirts, and I think the sales will come. But I think just like with being an indie author or an indie musician, you do your launch day for your book, you do your CD release party for your CD, and you'll sell a few on release day, you'll sell a few at your CD release party, but then you got to keep marketing it, you got to keep playing shows, you got to be consistent. And I think that is the number one rule that I apply to everything. And I try to apply it to my Etsy store too, which is be consistent. Be consistent, do the work. I don't have a magic, wand. I don't have a silver bullet for you that's going to make success. But I can tell you, if you make good designs and you continue to make them and you continue to post them while using good SEO, SEO is search engine optimization. Once again, we'll probably talk about that in a future episode. But you use good SEO in your listings and you follow the best practices and you do what Etsy says helps you, get ranked higher, and you just consistently just keep doing it and keep putting in the work and you'll get there. We'll get there. I'll get there. You'll get there. We'll all get there together. And I think that's the important thing. I think, a lot of people try to say that there's not hard work in this. They try to make this look easy. They oversimplify it to put it in their videos and talk about their success. And they don't talk about all the hard work that went in behind the scenes to it. So, it's a lot of hard work doing an Etsy store. It's not just a passive income where you set it and forget it and you sell shirts in your sleep. You have to market it. You have to talk about it. You have to push it. Currently, with my Etsy store, I have, let's see, what have I created for it? I've currently got a Pinterest account and I am pinning new products every time I put them up, and that is growing momentum. I think the audience is a little small right now, but it's growing, for something that I've only been doing for 3 weeks, I went ahead and started a Facebook page and an Instagram page, which I linked together because then I don't have to worry about doing a Facebook post and an Instagram post. I just do them both at the same time. And I've also started a TikTok channel, but the TikTok channel as well as the YouTube channel are for this podcast and not for the business directly. It's more about me talking and giving advice and all that jazz. And we might show some products, might do some product videos every once in a while if it's okay with you guys, but not on the podcast, like on the YouTube channel. Because it's kind of weird how you do YouTube, you do podcasts with YouTube. It's like you do a YouTube channel and you have your channel and you can do videos on that channel, but you can also designate some of them as podcasts. Like that's what I'm doing with this. There's a playlist that's just the podcast. And so this is the podcast. And if I do, videos about shirts and stuff later, that won't be on the podcast, but it'll be on the channel. So I guess what I'm saying is like the video and subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll get notified when we have new stuff, and you won't have to come look for me in the 4,000 videos that you're going to be inundated with. But anyway, that's our video for this week. My advice to you is simply this: if you've started an Etsy store and things haven't just jumped out the gate and you're not suddenly selling 100 shirts a day, don't stop. if you've got good designs, if you've got good listings, research it, find out how to do good SEO, find out what you have to do to market it, and do that and do it consistently and put stuff up, because you need a lot of products. I understand that mechanism. There's a guy talking about you need hundreds of products, and and of course he's trying to sell you his product bulk uploader, and that's cool. I think that's a neat tool, but I'm trying to keep my expenses down, so I'm not buying it, and I'm just going to keep doing it my way and just keep manually putting it up there, which takes time. But you do all that stuff. You put the stuff up, you do the hard work. Hard work does pay off. Consistency pays off, and just keep going. In the meantime, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I will answer. If you put a question in the comments, I promise you I'll answer. And if it's a complicated question, then maybe I'll do a whole video on it in the future and tag you in it. So you can't ever tell, but that's this episode. I want you guys to have a great week. I'm going to try to put some more videos up later this week, whether or not they're on the podcast, or whether they're just on the channel, we'll see. But you guys have a great week, and we'll talk soon.